April 2021, a sea lion is found with a long bow arrow close to its head in South Australia. Fast forward almost a year and a half, the current Minister for the Environment, Susan Close, has now championed the idea of banning bow hunting and crossbows in South Australia. So I filled out the online emails to the MPs, the members of Parliament, but I felt like a video message would be also appropriate. Madam Minister, I too am appalled when I see animals with arrows sticking out of them, wounded and suffering. I am a hunter, you are probably not a hunter, but this thing we can certainly agree on and we are on the same page. It's atrocious. But that doesn't mean that you need to paint a broad brush across the entire community. If a rugby player cheats with performance-enhancing drugs, does that mean all rugby players are cheaters? The answer is no. If a drunk driver causes a wreck and creates massive damage to properties and worse, maybe a fatality, does that mean all driving must cease? All cars must be banned? The answer is no. The same is true for this case in point. The RSPCA has called for a ban on bow hunting because it's quote-unquote inhumane. Dr. Rebecca Ayers stated, all forms of bow hunting need to be banned because there is no way that a bow and arrow can humanely kill an animal. So let me objectively look at that statement. The statement questions 1, the lethality of a bow and arrow, and 2, suggests that bow and arrows cause prolonged suffering and pain in animals. Let me address the second part first. Hunters spend hours and hours and hours practicing, spending lots of money practicing. For what reason? I have no data to show you how much hunters practice. But what I do have is all of the social media accounts of all the hunters all across the world in which you just have to look and they will broadcast themselves practicing. Why? Why do hunters invest hour after hour after hour in practicing that the bow and arrow is shooting incredibly accurately or the gun is shooting incredibly accurately? It's because when the time comes, any ethical hunter is looking to be as lethal, as ethical, and reduce as much suffering and pain on the animal as possible to ensure a quick kill. Let me go back to the first part, questioning the lethality of bows and arrow. Now we're getting into science. Now you're living in my world. Arrow and broadhead architecture are specifically engineered to create deep lacerations and significant blood loss. Deep lacerations based on human work, human studies, human case examples, cause very little to no pain as compared to crushing injuries. The significant blood loss very quickly results in hypovolemic shock, which based on human medicine and human case examples, has no pain associated with it. Instead, animals experience very significant weakness, which leads to unconsciousness, which leads to death. If you don't believe me, just Google Ashby Bowhunting Foundation. Yes, we have a non-profit that has dedicated their mission to the lethality of bows and arrows. You can find research and information on bevel finishes, arrow mass and bone density thresholds. You name it, you can find it, and the research has been done. The Ashby Bowhunting Foundation has done so much research that they have created a chart by which you can see what is the most lethal combination of arrow setup, broadhead setup for the specific game that you're after. This is the type of information that hunters utilize when they go hunting, not the yahoos that are being brought into the media for the atrocious behavior associated with animals. At the end of the day, we are on the same page as you. There is a very small minority that flaunt the law, that don't give a damn, and they'll do what they want, inflicting harm on animals, and they just don't care. This happens in every community, it happens in every lifestyle, and in every community, in every lifestyle, and even more so in the hunting community, those people are not us. Those are bad apples, and they do not represent the vast majority, if not 99% of the hunting community. I appreciate you seeing and hearing my message, Minister, If you'd like to jump on a podcast for me to explain and go through the research of bows and arrows, I'd love to have you on.